13 Israeli women and children will be the first today of 50 to be freed over the next 4 days. Joining me now live is former IDF spokesperson and director of the American Jewish Committee of Israel, Lieutenant Colonel Avital Leibovich. I appreciate your time this morning. Thank you so much for joining us. What's the feeling among the Jewish community as we wait to see whether the hostages will be freed?
I think the tensions are very high, especially due to the fact that Hamas is a very cruel enemy. And until the very last minute in which those hostages will be actually stepping their feet on the soil of Israel, until that moment arrives, we will not be 100% sure that this kind of operation will really come into fruition. So there's a lot of tensions and a lot of uncertainty at this point of time.
Oh, well, just on that, how precarious is this exchange? It really relies on both to trust one another to hold fire.
Yeah, I have to say that we had here 3 major countries that helped Israel reach this kind of framework. Egypt, Qatar, and the US. I think with the 3 countries being so deeply involved in the current situation, there is a ray of light, there is a ray of hope that this will indeed happen. But as I said, until the very last minute, we will not know for sure.
How would the IDF be approaching this situation, and what would be the priority for them when they eventually get to speak to some of those freed hostages?
So the IDF soldiers, as you rightly said, are the first ones who will have the contact with those freed hostages, those children, those mothers. We're talking about 13 people at the first part tomorrow, Israel time, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, Israel time. So they actually have received orders what kind of questions they should communicate with the children, with the parents, with the families, because the level of suspicion is very high among those hostages. I'm not even sure they would really trust those with uniforms standing next to them as being Israeli soldiers and not an enemy. So this has to be obviously very gentle, very gradual, in order to gain the trust. Immediately after that, these hostages will go through some medical tests in order to see their physical condition, and only then they will be reunited with their families, their close families at the first stage, and then the extended family at the second stage.
Israel's defence minister says the military will resume fighting against Hamas with intensity for at least 2 months once the short temporary pause ends. Is it safe to say that Israel will continue to look or to seek to destroy Hamas no matter what here?
Yes, I'm afraid that Israel cannot go back to the situation that changed in October 7th. We have to take Hamas out. We have to change the leadership in Gaza. We have to eliminate every terroristic option that Hamas has, any power, any ammunition, rocket producing factories, and so on. And it's not only for Israel's sake. First and foremost, it's for Israel's sake, but it's also for the people of Gaza. They also deserve a better future for them. For that case, we need to eliminate Hamas altogether, change the leadership. It will take time. It will take a lot of time. I think Gaza today, you can say, is the most underground fortified place in the world. That's the reason that this will take time, but we have to pursue it and succeed in it.
Well, look, it's going to be a very interesting few days ahead. Lieutenant Colonel Avital Leibovich, we'll leave it there. Appreciate your insight. Thank you for joining us.